Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today I'm doing something a little different. In front of me is Black Falcon's Fortress from 2002, the Legends re-release, set 10,039. I bought this example from a private seller for a very fair price. There are some drawbacks. In several places, I notice modern bluish gray parts instead of the correct old light gray. Some elements are in surprisingly good shape, while others are yellowed or dirty, so the clean gray look isn't consistent. At the back there's even a panel that doesn't really belong here. On the positive side, the minifigure torso prints are still sharp and free of cracks. And most importantly, the iconic Black Falcon's flag is present. I know loyal viewers enjoy it when I start from scratch, share my building experience, and highlight a few key parts along the way. In an earlier video, you saw how I uncovered a large batch of 1980s Lego pieces, including panels and bricks from the original 6074 Black Falcon's Fortress from 1986. So today, I'll be using the Legends version as a guide to rebuild the original 1986 set. Along the way, I'll share the full building experience, the historical context, and of course, some fun facts. I don't have an original box myself, but in these photos, you can clearly see the classic flat box with its distinctive mid-1980s artwork. At the front, there's a lid. Once opened, it reveals two large viewing windows that immediately showcase the interior of the set. On the inside flap, there's a photo of a child playing, along with two images of the fortress being opened and two alternate builds. Inside sits the yellow inner box with a plastic tray, where the most important and visually striking pieces were displayed. The back of the box shows even more alternate build ideas, variants with a taller tower and a more compact layout. For comparison, here's the box of the Legends reissue. No lid, no viewing windows, just a sealed box that had to be torn open at the side. Let's move on to the instructions, which I do have. In fact, I own both the original 6074 manual and the one from the Legends reissue 10,039. On the front and back covers, you can spot some minor design differences, but the inside is identical. It's a handy A4-sized booklet of 16 pages. There are 36 building steps, and despite the fortress being a fairly compact model, it does look like a challenging build. I also notice several subsections with additional steps, which adds to the complexity. The order seems logical. First, the two rear wings with the attached side building and roof construction, and then the front section with the drawbridge. What stands out is that new bricks are usually highlighted in a slightly darker shade, though not always. So I'll need to be extra careful, step by step, to make sure I don't miss anything. But before I actually start the rebuild, let me first show you the minifigures in detail. The set comes with 6 minifigures, 2 archers, 2 guards, and 2 mounted knights with horses, each with their own accessories. The 4-foot soldiers all wear torso prints with the Black Falcon's emblem. And here lies one of the key differences between the original and the reissue. In the Legends set, the emblem ends in a pointed shield. Original, it has a rounded shape. With a magnifying glass, the difference becomes very clear. In the original set, the swords are dark grey instead of light grey. The horses originally came with single clip saddles, whereas the reissue uses the 2-clip version. And most importantly, the flag on the tower shows the same distinction. Pointed shield in the 2002 version, rounded shield in the 1986 version. These may seem like minor details, but for collectors, they matter a lot. The original torsos, and especially the flag from 1986, are far more valuable. That's exactly what you need to look out for when buying sets secondhand. There are always sellers trying to pass off newer versions as originals to unsuspecting buyers. But keep in mind, the original figures are nearly 40 years old, while the reissue is only about 20 years old. The set contains a total of 435 pieces, including weapons, minifigure elements, and extra accessories. For the actual structure alone, you're looking at roughly 350 pieces, which is quite a lot for a set from this era. I've done my homework and cross-checked everything on Bricklink. I managed to track down all the parts in their correct historical form. Unfortunately, I'm still missing the 3 flags. The 2 yellow flags are easy to replace from other sets, but the crucial one is still absent. The rare blue Falcon flag with the rounded bottom edge of the emblem. The lot breaks down neatly into 4 groups. The largest share is made up of light grey bricks and plates, with the many wall panels separated into their own tray. Then there are plenty of black elements, used mainly for the drawbridge and especially for the roof. The green parts form the foundations, and finally, there are a few yellow accents. The condition of my bricks is mixed. The wall panels in particular show heavy discoloration, with a brownish tint from years of sunlight exposure. Still, I'm going to build the set as I found it first. Restoration can always come later. For now, it's all about sharing the building experience, along with some fun facts and historical context along the way. So, let's get started. I often say that older sets can be rebuilt fairly easily with basic bricks. But with this fortress, things are a lot more complicated. The light grey inventory isn't just lots of 1x1s and 1x2s. It also includes arches, plates in various sizes, and especially the large wall panels. These shapes weren't common in every set. They mostly appeared in the more specialized castle releases of the time. Old light grey was the standard grey back then, but it's harder to source today because it was phased out and replaced by bluish grey in the early 2000s. And if you do find some of these parts in your spares, you're essentially taking them away from another set, leaving that one incomplete. The arch bricks, 6x6 plates, the many wall panels, and the specific black roof elements are all very characteristic for this set, and not something you'll just find lying around. The parts are therefore rarer, but not impossible to find, and generally still affordable. Not every single element comes at a high price. So if you don't want to spend hundreds of euros on a complete second-hand copy, the best strategy is to look for an incomplete lot at a good price, then fill in the gaps via Bricklink or by combining several incomplete sets. That's exactly what I'm doing here, but as always in a historically accurate way. I've already built a nice section here, and now it's time to place a truly valuable element. The yellow panel 2x5x6 wall with window with black half-timbered frame pattern. This panel made its debut in the castle line in 1986, introducing a printed half-timbered wall that instantly gave the fortress a more lived-in look. It represents the medieval building style of wooden beams with filled-in panels, often seen in houses, chapels, and inns of the period. For kids in the 1980s, that single element made the fortress feel less like just a wall, and more like a place where people actually lived. It only appeared again in Black Knight's Castle and the Legends reissue of Black Falcon's Fortress. There's also a red version, used exclusively in the Guarded Inn, which makes that one even rarer and highly sought after. An original yellow panel in good condition, free of scratches or damage, is highly valued among collectors and is an immediate indicator of authenticity in this set. I'm now finishing the roof, and it turns out to be quite a challenging section. There are many different slope bricks that all have to be placed in just the right way. The slope 75 2x2x3 with double convex really stand out here, as well as the large black slopes 45 2x8. It's a real puzzle of different sizes and angles, and that's exactly what makes it fun to build. I've compared the inventories of both the original set and the Legends reissue, and I couldn't find any differences in the molds used. Many of these slopes are even still in production today. That means the roof can actually be rebuilt quite easily, provided you have these shapes and sizes in your spare parts collection. I'm really happy with the progress so far. The yellow panel section is the true eye-catcher and fits beautifully into the design. In fact, it could almost work as a standalone building that you could clip onto the side of another building. It reminds me a bit of the Guarded Inn. It's a bit of a pity that there's no ladder or interior decoration included. That just wasn't something LEGO did back then. A fireplace, or even a small suggestion of one, would have been nice. It would have given the chimney a real function. What bothers me now are the brown discolored panels. Strangely enough, it's mostly those panels that have aged. The rest of the bricks still look fine. I'll try cleaning them with a special product I use for yellowed white parts. I'll show that in a future restoration video. Or I might just replace all 9 with cleaner examples from Bricklink, which would cost about €10. I'm now moving on to the rest of the fortress. For this section, I'm starting again with green plates. Interestingly, LEGO didn't use large base plates here, like in King's Castle or the Yellow Castle, but instead built the foundation from smaller plates. There's no official explanation, but it was most likely a budget decision for this mid-range set, and once that choice was made, other castle sets from the same period had to be compatible as well. Many of them also used plate foundations of the same height. Base plates are slightly thinner and don't match that system. What I'm building now is the left rear section of the fortress. It's a compact, straightforward segment, just wall building without any extra decoration or side structures. I'm working with a mix of plates and bricks, and the construction includes a hinge and a Technic pin, so this section can later swing open and connect seamlessly to the rest of the fortress. A little purist fact along the way. Here I'm placing a modified plate 1x1 with U-clip. In the original release, this was part 4085B, while in the reissue, it was replaced by 4085C. It may seem like nitpicking, but if you want your set to be fully accurate, even this small detail has to match. For a change, I'm now building the drawbridge. It's made up of several black plates, and at the front there are 2 Technic plates, 2x4 with 3 holes. These allow me to thread the string through later. A clever design choice that was clearly well thought out. At the front sections, it's a bit of a puzzle as well, and the printed corner panels really stand out here. Personally, I find them beautiful and very typical of that era. It's a pity there aren't more of those prints included in the set. The yellow arch bricks are also quite striking. In this color, they only appeared in 3 different sets, which makes them rather special and a nice detail in this fortress. A few more bricks and corner panels are added here, and of course, the original 50cm string shouldn't be missing. It's simply clamped between 2 1x2 plates. Unfortunately, there's no full winch mechanism included. With a few more plates and bricks, the fortress is complete. I'm only missing the 3 flags, but apart from that, the set has been fully restored to its original 1986 historical state. The fortress is built as a square and very compact, measuring 19 by 19 centimeters. This fortress also uses a hinge system, allowing it to swing open and create more play space. On top of that, it includes modified bricks with a hole, designed so you can attach it to other sets. Loyal viewers know that I already own quite a few classic castle sets, and I can connect them all together to create my own castle world. When you place both sets side by side, you don't immediately notice any differences, but they are definitely there. I've pointed them out throughout the video. I'm especially glad I was able to rediscover this set. I also had it as a child, and it brought back many wonderful memories. The building experience was fun and varied, and in all its simplicity, this remains a truly great design. Both versions deserve a special place in my collection and make a perfect addition to the rest of my classic castle sets. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to see more every Sunday, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.